and today I'm here filming a Instagram inspired makeup, and yeah, let's just get cracking with the video. Enough of the intro and let's get on with the makeup. So the first thing that I'm going to be using is my Maybelline Matte Mousse Foundation, and I have moisturised already, so my skin is all good to go. And I'm just going to be taking this kind of all over, ever so lightly. I don't want to apply too much. So now that I've applied my foundation, I'm going on to my eyes, and I'm going to start by priming them. I'm using my Max Factor Pot and Prime. So now that I have primed my eyes, I'm then going to be going in with my Sleek palette, if I can find it. Here it is, and I'm using a orange shade for in my crease, and I'm using this shade here to go in my crease with, and I'm going to take this just right in the crease. Going in with my chocolate palette, and I'm going to be taking it's just a really kind of dark matte brown shade. I have no idea what colour it's in, and I'm just going to take this and patting it all over the lid. Flicking out slightly just so it's a bit more kind of in a more kind of like cat kind of flicky shade. So I'm then going to go back in with my fluffy brush, which I'm applying the orange to, and I'm just going to blend that upwards using the transition shade. So I'm just going back in with brown, and I'm just trying to build up that kind of smoky, sort of brown, kind of burnt orangey kind of vibe. And then going in with kind of like a coffee, sort of a light brown sort of shade. I'm just going to take that, I'm just going to apply that, sweep it kind of over, so it's not kind of as orangey. So this is when I then go in with a black shade, and this is when it gets really kind of intense. And I'm just going to be taking a matte black shade on my little Real Techniques brush, and I'm just going to be popping that kind of right in the kind of V. And then going back in with my brush and the orange shade, and I was going to blend the shit out of it. So now that I'm pretty happy with that, I'm then going to go in with, this is my favourite step, which is when I go in with the glitter, and this is such a gorgeous shade, and it's the MAC pigment in Angelic, and it's like it goes everywhere, so I have to be really careful. And I'm just going to pat this just on right at the centre. So now that I have done that, I'm going to go back in with my chocolate palette. It does get quite repetitive, but it's just the way makeup is. And I am going to go in with a slightly kind of like golden shade just to go over it. Just because I do like a silver, but I want to kind of add to that warmth. I'm just going to pat over it ever so slightly with the gold. Matte white shade. I'm just going to highlight just above, just under my brow bone. I'm just going to apply that right in my inner corner. I've done my wings, I'm then going to contour like an Instagram pro. I'm just going to be taking a lipstick. I'm taking a really red lipstick. I don't know how this is actually going to turn out. We will find out whether this Instagram hack actually works. And then I'm going to bring in my contour. I'm using my Coastal Scents palette. I think this is a bit on my chin because I have quite a big chin, so I like to kind of contour that a bit. And I am going to just dot this around my forehead because I have quite a big forehead and I like to create the illusion that it's smaller. And I'm also going to be bringing two lines coming from my widow's peak. Kind of looks like I've had an allergic reaction under my eye. Oh, so pretty. After I've blended out my contour, I'm then going under my eye with a liquid concealer in hopes of camouflaging this red. I'm dragging it out from my inner corner. I'm also going to be cleaning up the eye makeup. I also have some spots down in my chin and some blemishes. So I am just going to cover those. And surprisingly, the lipstick under my eye has worked. I can sort of tell in this lighting, but on camera you can't really see it at all. I look extra awake. So under my eyes, I'm then going to set that with a mineral foundation. I'm using my Bohemian Chick mineral foundation, just because I don't want to go in with more kind of cream, and this will just set it, make it look fab. This is kind of like before I bake on my face. And it's going to set that. This is a full coverage mineral foundation, so this should cover any of the redness that's left over from the lipstick. And it should also set it and keep it looking fine. I've gone in with my mineral foundation. I'm then going to go back in and contour again before I bake and then fill in my eyebrows. So I'm using my Coastal Scents palette. I'm using the contour. I'm just going to be dragging the contour down my cheekbones. Putting some of that on my chin, and I'm just going to take some up on my temples. So now that I have done that, I'm just going to go in with a angled buffing, or like, I don't know what brush this is, but it's like an angled kind of brush. And I'm using one of the paler shades. It's this shade here, so it's not the paler. And I'm then going to put this right under the contour. A little bit on my chin. So my contour and my highlighting is pretty much good to go. And once I've done my eyebrows, I will just blend that out. I'm using my Maybelline Master Brow Palette to fill in my eyebrows, and I'm using the gel with my MAC 221 brush. I do have an eyebrow routine, so I will link that in the description. And I am just filling them kind of how I normally would, because I do naturally, or like not naturally, but on like a day-to-day basis, I wear like kind of Instagram brows. And towards the front of your brow, you just want to go extremely lightly, so it's pretty much not barely any product. You don't want to apply any more. I'm just using any excess product that's left over on the brush still, and I'm dragging it forward. I am blending it up slightly, but not a lot. I'm going to repeat that with the other brow. I'm just going to go in with a clear brow gel and just kind of bring them forward a bit. I'm just doing this at the front of the brow only, because I'm then going to go back in with a darker brown shade. I'm going back under my eye with the matte brown shade, and I'm just going to be blending it up slightly under. And then I'm going to go in with the gold shade and just going to put that kind of where, like, in the middle of my under eye. So I'm now going to go in with my mascara, and I'm just going to be using my Maybelline Lash Sensational, and I'm then going to go in with some false lashes once I've applied my mascara. So I'm then going to go off camera and apply my fake lashes, because it takes me ages and I'm not good at it. So now my fake lashes are on, I applied mascara to my bottom lashes. I'm then going to go in and highlight, and I'm using my MUA highlighter. The lid has fallen off it, but you know, never mind. The foundation brush to apply my highlighter, because I'm weird and I like to apply highlighter with a foundation brush. But I'm just going to take this just along my cheekbones. And I'm just going to apply some next to my brow, and I'm going to apply a little bit on my brow bone. I'm going to apply some just under my contour, just on, so it gives the illusion that my bones stick out more. And last but not least, I was going to powder. Yes, I'm powdering after I highlight. It's just so it's not as kind of dewy. But yeah, I still want there to be that little kind of contoury, kind of highlighty vibe going on. And just to define my contour even more, I'm going in with a really ashy, kind of browny eyeshadow, just to really kind of pop the contour on my cheeks even more. So now that I have done that, I'm just going to be lining my lips with my lip liner, and I'm using my Sephora lip liner. I don't know what colour it's in. Vintage pink. And in case you're wondering where I got it from, I got it when I was in Copenhagen. So now that I've done that, I'm then going to go with my lipstick. I'm using two of my MUA Glux Velvet lipsticks, and I'm using the shade Zest and Tranquility. And I'm just going to be blending that out with one of my little sponges.